Get ready for the dictation. 5 seconds to go. Start. The honorable member has raised a very important question, and it is something to which we give serious consideration. States like Sikkim do have 83% forest cover. There are other states like Goa where development is almost not possible because, on the one hand, we have the Coastal Zone Act which prohibits development, and on the other hand, we have reserved forests and protected forests, and in between, the corridor is so narrow that development is barely possible. But we do take a national and a holistic view of the forest cover of the nation, and we do not need to maintain the forest cover. It is not possible for us to look at it at this point of time as a state, but we do give anxious consideration to the question of development, particularly when it comes to energy needs of the people in that area. As and when a project comes up, we do consider the aspect that the honorable member raised, but there is a problem there, and I do understand the problem. However, the view that the government takes, we in the Ministry of Environment and Forests take, is that of the nation as a whole. Sir, we are a nation that prescribes fundamental rights to all its citizens under a written constitution, and where there is rule of law that governs the conduct of each one of our citizens. So let us as a house be very loud and clear that use of violence to settle any dispute is wrong. The right to movement, liberty, and life are fundamental and are guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution. Using violence to take lives is wrong even when it is about sensitive issues like protecting cows. So, sir, our Prime Minister and our government are absolutely right in condemning it and asking state governments and the police to ensure that law is enforced and prosecution is robust when laws are broken. Sir, I wish to make three broad points. Let me start by doing some plain speaking. The Constitution provides explicit protection and prohibition against cow slaughter under Article 48, except for a few exempt states. There is a need to do some plain speaking. The sensitivities of the Hindu community are as important as the sensitivities of all other communities in the country. I am sure all my colleagues would accept that basic principle. So, if a large majority of Hindus in some parts of our country have strong views about the treatment of cows, there is no escaping the fact that Those views have to be addressed and debated and not just trifled with or dismissed as inconvenient to some. That is the nature of our democracy. So, when members of the Congress or some in the left slaughter a cow on the streets of Kerala or have beef melas, then let us be clear that this is a great provocation to a community that considers this as a sensitive issue. Sir, I am not only doing some plain speaking, and I do think that this needs to be said. Sir, the second issue is that of this prevailing double standards and hypocrisy that some in politics practice towards the issue of life and liberty. As I have already said, this is clearly wrong. Lynching needs to be punished under law, but violent crimes should not have double standards like my colleague, the Minister of Human Resource Development said. I will dwell upon only three important legal issues. Of course, the law minister is not there, but I request you to bring these to the notice of the Honorable Finance Minister and the Honorable Law Minister. I have three important suggestions which I would like to make on behalf of my party in this regard. The first issue is about strengthening the legislation. The second issue is about strengthening and reforming the police, and the third issue is about curbing the rumor mongering. I will dwell upon these three issues. The first issue is about strengthening the legislation. First of all, the word lynching does not find any mention in the Indian Penal Code. Therefore, there is every necessity for us to amend the law, particularly the Indian Penal Code, where the word lynching has to be defined in the Act. It has to be defined in the Indian Penal Code to make the mechanism of justice delivery more effective. If the government feels that no such amendment is required to be made insofar as this issue is concerned, then, like in the case of rape and other criminal actions, a separate law can be made. The second point to which I would like to draw the attention of the minister is section 223 of the Criminal Procedure Code. It says that the persons or mob involved in the same offense in the same act can be tried together. This has not given enough legal teeth to the justice delivery mechanism. Therefore, a more stringent law has to be enacted, and section 223A of the Criminal Procedure Code 1973 has to be amended. Stop.